The Workplace Relations Minister, Bill Shorten. He joins us in Canberra. Bill Shorten, thanks for your time. Just picking up on Peter Slipper, before we get to the Health Services Union, can I ask you, do you think he should return to the Speaker's chair while these civil claims are still being played out?
I understand that the Prime Minister's addressed this in a press conference in Turkey in the last few hours. I haven't seen what she said, but let me say I support what it is that she said.
Hang on, you haven't seen what she said?
But I support what my Prime Minister said, so...
Well, what's your view?
Well, my view is what the Prime Minister's view is.
Surely you must have your own view on this, Bill Shorten.
No, when you ask if I got my view on this, that's such a general question, it invites me to go to lots of places.
Well, it's a specific question as to whether Peter Slipper should return as Speaker of your Parliament while he's facing civil claims of sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment's an incredibly serious matter. There should be no tolerance for sexual harassment. That's my view. On the other hand, these matters have yet to be established, and I support what our Prime Minister has said.
But you don't know what that is?
Well, I'm sure she's right.
But you'll wait to make up your own mind until you see what the leader said.
I'm a minister in the government. I support our Prime Minister, full stop.
Fair enough. All right, well, let me ask you about the Health Services Union. Why has the government intervened today and not earlier in seeking administrators be brought in?
Oh, I think the question is, why has no one else within the union sought to put an administrator in, and why has it fallen to the government to do what perhaps others should have already done before we've acted?
Well, Cathy Jackson says she was moving to do this.
Oh, well, I'm not a crystal ball gazer. You've got to make an application. The only intervention I've seen for administrators come from the government, nowhere else.
So why didn't it happen earlier?
Well, you know I've been the Industrial Relations Minister for the last 4 months. I've been seeking legal advice on this matter, on how to try and be a circuit breaker to what is clearly, in my opinion, a dysfunctional branch with a poor structure, HSU East. I'm not on anyone's side within the Williamson-Jackson arguments and fights. There's other independent processes at work to investigate the truth of the claims and the counterclaims and all the allegations. But what the government has done is an unprecedented move. We have stepped up to the plate and we are proposing to put an administrator in there in the best interests of the 55,000 members of the union. Let's never forget this should be about the members of the union. We've notified our intervention this morning. We will file our application by close of business Monday. There'll be a directions hearing, I understand, on Thursday. What we will be seeking is an administrator go in and in the soonest possible time let the members, once you've created an appropriate structure for the union so that members can have their say, that members have the opportunity to take back control of their union with fresh elections conducted by the Australian Electoral Commission.
You said there that you haven't intervened in this internal dispute, but Cathy Jackson told us earlier she thinks you have. She suggested that you encouraged a rank-and-file member to launch or to lay charges against her. She also says you're doing this to cover up the internal Intembi report from being made public.
Those allegations are completely untrue. And furthermore, I have had no dialogue with any member about charging Miss Jackson. I don't know what she has or hasn't done. That is up for her to account for. But the allegation that I have promoted people to investigate any allegations of wrongdoing by her is not correct. Furthermore, in our application, we will make it clear that whoever in that union wants to charge whoever for whatever poor performance, true or otherwise, that can still be undertaken. And in regards to any statement about one of the many reports which will have come to light about the HSU East branch, the Tembi report will be the matter for the administrator if our application is successful. I said on record, before Ms Jackson even made the allegations, that in my view the administrator would be well advised to release any other report or information which comes to light.
So you support the release of that report?
But that will be, yes, but that will be a matter for the administrator to make that final decision. But yes.
And what about the Fair Work Australia report, the other lengthy report that is going to a Senate committee? Craig Thompson's lawyers today saying they don't want it made public. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I just want to completely refute that allegation made by any interest, and I don't have truck for any of these groups in the union. That's not, who they do or don't like is up to them. It is this government and myself who've made the application for an administrator. If people think it's such a good idea and should have been done so long ago, why didn't someone do it? Why has it fallen to us to do? Secondly, not involved in any of the internal charging of Ms Jackson. And thirdly, the Temby report, up to the administrator. In my view, it should be released.
And the Fair Work Australia report?
Yeah, and returning to that, let me be clear. I think the process has been very long in this investigation, but we are at the last stage. The report has been written. The General Manager of Fair Work Australia and the Commonwealth Director of Public Prosecution are both considering what civil or criminal matters should be taken up from it. I am not going to jeopardise the final ending of this saga, of this too long story, and I'm not going to. I owe it to the members of the Health Workers Union not to make any premature political intervention which would jeopardise possible criminal or civil charges. We want to see this matter resolved, and no matter what political grandstanding anyone else wishes to make, I owe it to the cleaners and the laundry workers and the allied health professionals to make sure they have a clean union, and that's what this government's committed to. And by the way, I believe nearly every trade union in Australia and nearly every official in Australia of trade unions do the right thing. I think this HSU East branch matter does need to be resolved so that people can have renewed confidence in the good hard work that Australian trade unions do.
All right, Bill Shorten, thank you.
Thank you.